So let's talk crypto. Unless you've been under a rock, you've probably seen everything talking about FTX, with today being November 15th, and everything going on with crypto. I'm not surprised. There's going to be probably a lot more fallout, not just from FTX, but others, just because the industry advanced so quickly, and essentially it's not really even regulated, which has been a major issue. And it's funny because the FTX website actually says we are US based and regulated, which they are not. They're based in the Bahamas and they have all kinds of different entities, and they're really not regulated by anyone necessarily. The CFTC, Commodities Futures Trading Commission, and the SEC have looked into whether to regulate this as a security, regulate it as a currency. FTX also was an exchange, so how to regulate that as potentially a currency exchange. But nothing's really been done. There's been enforcement actions by the SEC, but then, and the connection times out when you try to go to see what regulations they're talking about, because there are none. Anyways, so they filed for bankruptcy, and let's take a look. They filed on Friday the 11th, Chapter 11 in Delaware. They do have quite a few different entities. As you can see, it's not just FTX Trading Limited. They have, and they're including all of their wholly owned subsidiaries and affiliated companies, including Alameda Research, which you're hearing about. And so all of these different entities in all kinds of different jurisdictions, 134 of them. So they have 134 different entities that they're using, including Alameda Research, which apparently from the news, it sounds like some money might have been used to transfer back and forth between the founder's other company, Alameda Research, and used to possibly prop up or buy FTX or something to help prop this up. And basically it all collapsed. They had no liquidity, and so they had to file for Chapter 11. So far, they're asking to be a debtor in possession, which means that in a Chapter 11, the corporation or whatever the entity is files, and they can still have control of their assets, continue to do business. So they've asked to remain a debtor in possession, and it's a matter of time to see whether the court will appoint a Chapter 11 trustee to oversee the company and make decisions on its behalf. Right now, let's see, where is it? Essentially, there's a resolution in here in the filing that Sam Bankman-Fried did resign as a CEO of FTX Trading, and this was on Thursday of last week. He resigned, and they appointed John Ray as an interim CEO, and also appointed some different directors to take over to try to keep it out of the hands of Sam Bankman-Fried, which he agreed to. So this is to try to hopefully avoid a Chapter 11 trustee being appointed and taking over the case. Right now, not much has been filed in their bankruptcy, a voluntary petition with limited information, but there is also a motion that was filed yesterday on the 11th, basically trying to change some of the court rules because there are so many potential creditors and how to serve everyone with notice. And you'll see in here, talks about a little bit of the history, the liquidity crisis, and they're trying to restructure. And so basically, John Ray is the new CEO, is an experienced restructuring executive. So that's why they put him in. Let's see here. And here's some of the directors. One's a judge, a couple others that they're trying to put in as directors to work independently on behalf of the company. Proposed financial advisor, and says that they've been in contact with the U.S. attorney US SEC, the CFTC, and other agencies. Although my understanding is he is in the Bahamas, or supposedly is, and that's where the company was based. So basically, they're asking that they don't have to serve everyone with all these notices because they're saying in here that they think that there's at least 100,000 creditors, and a creditor is someone that they owe money to. And in this case, that probably is mostly their clients that put money into the exchange that possibly can't get it back and are owed that money. And in here, it does say at some point that we estimate that there could be over a million creditors. So, uh, a million customers plus other entities that they might owe money to. So this is going to be a very substantial case, and I'd be surprised if they don't appoint a Chapter 11 trustee because there's so many issues, uh, potential fraud and just money going back and forth that even appointing these independent directors, I don't know if that's going to be enough to avoid a Chapter 11 trustee. But yeah, we're looking at possibly up to a million uh, creditors, and that could be clients, customers that potentially lost their money and are owed money. So we'll see where this goes. But interesting case. And what I thought was most interesting is that they still haven't updated their website. It says they're US based and regulated, which is not really true and would seem to be false and misleading statement uh, that could lead to some potential charges. So, anyways, we'll see what happens in the meantime. I'm sure there'll be more filings coming out and more to come.